Hi there, this is Dr. Eve, owner of Eve SpiritSpeaks MD YouTube channel, as well as the creator of the Ultimate Intuitive Confidence Mastery course. This week, I am going to talk about the narcissist who idealizes and who devalues. I'm going to edit this part out maybe after this week. But for those of you who have been expecting and enjoying these videos pretty consistently on the weekends, I apologize that I have had a lot of unexpected things happen beyond my control. So the times that I thought I might have access to my equipment to be able to record, I have not. That is why I am recording this now, and I will publish it as soon as I can. For anyone who is interested and has not yet had the courage, please text me if you are interested in having a free consultation with me. All you need to do is to click subscribe down below. Also, I would love to hear your feedback in the comment section or get a thumbs up or thumbs down from you. This is all for your benefit. I want to share this information with you because nobody gave me a handbook about narcissists. I'm pretty sure no one is giving you one either. I had to go through decades of higher education in addition to life education, and I still hadn't put all of these details together the way I am presenting them to you on video. So please let me know how I can make this even better for you. If you have any examples of any of these details that I talk about in my video, well, please put them in the comment section. You don't even have to say this happened to you. You can say it happened to a friend or you'd heard about. That's fine. Another thing I want to mention while I'm on this, I am probably going to be creating soon a Facebook group so that for any of you who do have questions or comments and don't feel comfortable putting them on such a public forum, we will have a safe place for that. All right, so just give me some time because I need my schedule to calm down a little bit more. Oh, one more thing. If you are enjoying these videos, please help me gift the global community online by sharing this episode or another one that might be your favorite from the series with your friends. You never know who might really or most benefit from this information that I'm sharing. And it's really easy. You just click share. I've attempted to put the topics that I've covered in some type of order that would imply what a narcissist might do more initially in a relationship and then what they might develop into doing later on. Of course, people have their own styles, they'll put things in their own order. This is just an example. Early on in my series, I talked about love bombing. Now, if you are just tuning in for the first time to my series with this episode, feel free to go back in my episodes and watch the one on love bombing because it's very connected to the one I'm doing right now. In that, when someone is love bombing someone else, they are going to be praising you if they're dating you like crazy, making you sound like the best thing since I once dated a country boy and he used to say since sliced bread. Narcissistic traits can be expressed as a defense mechanism by people. However, a malignant narcissist is someone who is really taking these traits to the hilt, is abusing these traits for personal reasons. They have their own selfish motives, and they don't mind violating other people's boundaries. They don't mind doing things that gratify themselves at other people's expense. So, given that, when a malignant narcissist idealizes and love bombs their dates, what they're doing is they are with intention grooming, manipulating, and controlling them into trusting the narcissist. They are giving empty flattery and excessive praise in the beginning so that their victims will trust them more. These are the type that will declare their love for you early in their dating. While on the topic of love bombing, when I recorded the love bombing episode, I talked a lot about someone using the phrase I love you very early on in the dating relationship. Like even saying before date number 2 that they fell in love with a person on the first date. Now, I'm not going to iterate the things that I said on that episode. What I'm doing here is I want to mention a disclaimer. The debate will always be on as to whether someone can fall in love at first sight. I am not here to argue one side or the other, only to say that, yes, I have known people who have actually felt very attracted to someone else early on, and they may be the highly emotional type and they may call it love. And I know that there are many different kinds of love. I'm not here to say whether or not you would be accurate when you say you have fallen in love with someone at first sight. All I'm saying is that while I have known couples who have actually stayed together for years after thinking that they had indeed fallen in love on their first date, I'm not talking about those people in these episodes. I'm talking about someone who will make that claim and then will employ many of these other traits that I have talked about since the love bombing episode, which result in disheartening the narcissist partner, which result in controlling and then eventually making the narcissist partner feel less confident. Having said that, once the narcissist victim is sufficiently hooked in with all of this idealizing, they take great pride, secretly or personally, in devaluing their victims, in mistreating them. You will see, if you are dating a narcissist, that the narcissist you're dating may actually take pleasure in having rage attacks, gaslighting, verbally or emotionally abusing you, maybe putting you down, not just behind closed doors, but eventually in front of others, may even take pleasure in physically abusing you. Let's hope it doesn't get that far. A narcissist who enjoys these things also then will eventually discard their victims in terrible ways, unless their victim discards them first. And then a familiar dance occurs here. When the victim decides he or she has had enough and attempts to leave, the narcissist jumps horses and does all he or she can to sweeten the pot and get that person back. Why? So that they can continue returning to the game they love to play with their toy or their narcissistic supply. They will devalue them further. The cycle will repeat until eventually the narcissist decides to discard the victim and will attempt to do so in such a way that the victim will feel destroyed. I want to mention here something. Research has shown that there is a triad of dark traits. These are narcissism, psychopathy, and Machiavellianism. People, according to this research, who have these dark triad traits actually take pleasure in seeing sad faces. It feeds into their grandiose sense of power and superiority. According to researchers Y. Antilopoulos in 2012, individuals high on the dark triad traits appear to exhibit an empathic profile that allows them to retain their ability to read and assess others' emotions. This, by the way, is called cognitive empathy. They're using their head to take this in, and subsequently utilize this information to formulate strategies with which they can acquire what they want, while their lack of affective or feeling related empathy may lead them to overlook or ignore potential harm inflicted to others in the process. End of quote, and I apologize. As you could tell, I put in some parenthetical expressions just to increase clarity. Hurting someone is like emotional fuel for malignant narcissists, especially since they suffer from boredom much of the time. Like sadistic puppeteers, I've read somewhere, they enjoy pulling the strings of their loved ones and warping their reality. It is actually fun sport for them to demean, criticize, blame shift, and aggravate someone. A relationship is never over because they never like losing any of their playthings. They'll get bored with their current source of narcissistic supply and may reach back to someone they've known. That could be you. So we have covered now this business of idealizing someone, making them sound so terrific and wonderful, like the best blessing ever. Just make note that if they are doing that and doing some of those other characteristic traits that I've mentioned that narcissists can express early in dating, keep your radar up, because it could be that you are dealing this time with a narcissist. I've had ladies come to me crying and so confused and sorrowful when they talk about just how wonderfully the relationship began, how everything went so smoothly, how these people fit so perfectly with each other, and how the time, either it was a small trip or a wonderful date or some other event that was just so perfect. That was the hallmark of the start of their relationship, could now be not touched at all because there is nothing that she or he can do. In this situation with my recent clients, it was she. But there are he's who go through the same thing with women or with other men. Narcissistic treatment is not limited to any sexual orientation or to any sexual gender. These women who have come to me so upset ask me point blank, what happened? What went wrong? And more key, what can I do to get things back to the way they used to be when we started? If you start noticing that you are going in that direction with someone, whoa, take a step back. Review the pointers I've given in these videos and talk to a friend or talk to a professional. Talk to someone who knows about what abuse can look like in its more subtle forms. This would be a perfect time if you'd like to have your free consultation with me. After clicking subscribe, take a screenshot of it, send it to me, and say, I'm ready to have my free consultation. I will set you up. Now that you have been listening to a number of my episodes, you're already more well-versed than you were before you started, because I have pulled in all kinds of elements into my series that can help shed light on the even less usual facets of a narcissist who is taking things too far while dating. If you hear a friend sharing a number of these signs, of being in a narcissistic relationship. You may ask if they think that they might be involved in an abusive relationship or if they are with a narcissist. And you can go from there to referring them to this video series or to any other source of information that you believe would be helpful to them. All right. Thank you very much for listening. I'm still working on correcting my namaste. My wrist is beautifully healed, but I still have some issues, so pardon the crookedness. I wish for you to stay healthy, to be blessed, and most of all, to be unabashedly, unapologetically, most miraculously, your most authentic you. Namaste.